Tony Stewart is 12th in points. He has more wins in the month of July than any other month, with 8 total throughout his career. You could say Kentucky now becomes a second hometown track for Stewart. The Indiana native considers the Brickyard his home turf, but he lives about an hour and 20 minutes from Sparta. Stewart joins us now live here. We know that you brought some goodies up here on our rig, so we appreciate that. We'll talk about that in a second. But first, adjustment. How difficult is that here at this racetrack? Because everybody talks about how bumpy this place is.
Well, it's definitely the roughest mile and a half we've got, but it's, when we say that, we don't mean necessarily that it's bad. It's just different. It's a different challenge for the crew chiefs. We're used to really smooth racetracks, and you know, this is a new track to our series, but it's not a new track. So it's got some age to it, and got its own characteristics with the bumps and everything. And it's been a welcome challenge for us as drivers and crews. I mean, you're actually having to work on the suspension and make the thing actually ride over the bumps well now.
Tony, I know I'm preaching to the choir, but 9 races to go before this chase. You're 12th in the points, 4 points out of the top 10. Ryan Newman is 10th, but only 3 points to the good. Remember, win and you'll be in. They've got a little work to do. Yeah, we do. We both do. But, you know, I think we both got good cars tonight. You know, I thought we were strong yesterday in practice, and you know, we've had one of those years, at least with the 14 car side, we've had one of those odd years where anything that could go wrong has gone wrong. We've not even had the high point yet. We've just been in a valley down there, and we cannot get out of it. But you know, to be 12th in points with the season as bad as we've been right now, you know, I think we're sitting pretty good considering the circumstances. But I think our cars are getting better. I'm really proud of everybody at Stewart Haas Racing, and you know, I feel like our cars are getting where we need them to be, and you know, Ryan's doing a good job. He just had some bad luck too, so if we get the bad luck out of our system, I think we'll be fine.
Hey, I want to go back a couple of races to Sonoma, and a comment you made after that race, talking about blocking. Why has blocking become such a big part of it? I mean, they blocked for 35th position.
I don't know.
Why is that such a big? Why is it such a big thing? I mean, guys used to give each other room. Now they just block.
I'm trying to figure the same thing out. I mean, I don't remember blocking even being a part of racing.
Ever.
But, you know, the very first race, I mean, Donnie Allison and Cale Yarborough, there was some blocking going on there, and you saw how that turned out.
Exactly.
And you just haven't seen it, but for some reason we're seeing more and more of it. And it's kind of time to get the etiquette squared away again. I mean, the drivers have always figured out how to set the boundaries, and you know, I think the competition's so tight that it's forced guys to have to do stuff that they wouldn't normally do. But we're not going to let them keep doing it. They can do it to the other 41 guys out there. They just don't need to do it to me, because they aren't going to like the outcome.
I think you should hold a meeting. Why don't you hold a forum?
There's no point in holding a meeting. I've sat in some of these meetings with these guys, and they say some of the dumbest things I've ever heard in my life in some of these meetings.
Like
hold a meeting, and give them a sack pack.
I'll tell you what, these guys don't need the sack packs, but there's a lot of kids that do deserve these sack packs, and that's the car that we've got tonight. We've got our back-to-school paint scheme with Office Depot, and as much as some of the guys out there, I'm not enjoying what they're doing, I am enjoying what these kids are doing and what the Office Depot Foundation's doing. You know, they've given out over 2.5 million backpacks in the last 10 years. So this year we're to sack packs, which I had to get an education on what a sack pack is, but it's just not got the fancy straps like a backpack, and you can carry it on one shoulder. So it's a sack pack, and you know, we were here in Kentucky this week and got to hand out over 3,000 of them on Wednesday.
Great
Tony,
stuff.
no matter what you've climbed in, whether it's dirt, asphalt, with fenders and quarter panels, or open wheel, you've been successful. You've won races, you've won championships. I don't know that this is in your future, but a few weeks ago, I watched you climbing a Formula One car. That grin was a lot bigger than it is right there when you were driving that thing.
Yeah, that was awesome. What an opportunity. It's I'm just glad and fortunate that I didn't drive one of those 20 years ago, because I really enjoyed it, had a good time. And
Mr. Hamilton was pretty good in the stock car, wasn't he?
He was awesome in it. The bad thing was we both went out, and I drove the Cup car first, and then he drove the F1 car, and then we switched cars, and then we both went faster in each other's car.
But
than
it
we
was
did.
drying up, too.
Yes, it was drying up.
That's good.
But I was sitting there, and I'm looking at the stopwatch going, is he really 5 seconds faster than I am? And then I got in his car, and I went 8 seconds faster than he did. But it was a lot of fun, and just can't thank Lewis and his team, and especially Mobile One, that helped us do that. It was, you know, that's probably one of the coolest 4-lap runs of my life right there. And I ran for 4 laps, and it was less than 10 minutes long, and I've been talking about it for weeks ever since, and I'll be talking about it to the rest of my life. So.
And he wants to run the boot now at Watkins Glen.
Okay, we'll see if that happens.
It'll be awesome for the Cup Series to do that.
All right, Tony Stewart doing a lot of good in the community. Hopes to do that as well on the racetrack tonight. And let us know if you change your mind about that meeting, because that would be highly entertaining for us to see.
I guarantee it would be entertaining. It would be a bad comedy is what it would be.
All right. Thank you, Tony. Best of luck tonight.